Bank of America out with a really solid quarter. You got beats in FICC, equities trading, investment banking is up a whopping 27%. Joining me now is Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. What is the bigger standout for you?
The fact that they were able to, this is 5 straight quarters of outperformance. They're doing a good job while also investing in digital and growth and whatnot. So the return on tangible common equity, I like that number because it's a number that we can compare across all the banks. It's about 11%. That's a lot weaker and a lot far behind JP Morgan. But with that said, like JP Morgan, they can lean on the consumer for growth, and their net interest income, in light of the interest rate expectations that we have for the rest of the year, are holding quite strong and above.
Which is interesting because their net interest income did miss versus expectations. In previous presentations, they talked about them factoring in just 2 Fed rate cuts. And I wonder what we're going to hear on the call about that and then what it's going to do to their NII.
Their outlook is going to be very important because JP Morgan pretty much told everybody that it's not really a big deal for the end of the year. Our last update for you was as bad as it's going to get, and it's only gotten better from there. And so if we hear the same thing from Bank of America, they're in the clear today. But right now, so far, first blush, good looks.
So investment banking, let's drill down for a second, up 27% year on year. So you had advisory fees were actually up. The debt underwriting was up. Equity underwriting a little soft, but there were also a lot of IPO worries headed into the quarter. What did you make of the numbers?
2 things from this. Bank of America had a lot of changes at their investment bank in terms of talent, so they were able to hold strong despite those changes. Bank of America also tends to do very well in the middle market. And so for the smaller deals, you see big scale M&A really slowing down, but you see the middle market still holding strong, and you see it in Bank of America's numbers, really. And JP Morgan also invests across America in that regard as well. And you see Goldman Sachs now even pouring into that market. Not enough, obviously, to get their numbers up for yesterday, but it's showing here.
Consumer deposits up big, up 3% to $709 billion. This is some serious money. What do we learn about the consumer in terms of their numbers?
So again, good sign because the numbers are up. JP Morgan said yesterday that even though they're worried about the economy in the longer term, the U.S. consumer is certainly not one of the things they're worried about. So we're going to want to see that also shine through Bank of America's commentary throughout the day today. I've got to say, Brian Moynihan's initial statement, they do cause some, moderately growing economy they expect, right? But I've got to say, compared to some of the stuff we've heard yesterday, it's a muted tone, but it's not as negative as we've heard from some of the bankers yesterday.